So the idea was to first understand that what they have been using and whether they have faced any problem in running out the data for their data need. We'll start with addressing that and then introduce the some of the advanced queries.
Okay, okay.
So because if we can address for each individual, possibly we would be able to cover up most of the stuff
Right,
with the data.
right. So Shikha, Bhavna, Sunita, they have any questions or they have already posted to him?
No, sir, no questions have been posted to sir. Right now, there is no query because we have been using Provis for quite a long time, but we want to know the new things. So there's no doubt
Okay,
from my side, actually.
okay,
Okay.
okay.
Yeah.
Sunita?
Hello. Yes, sir.
Please.
Hello.
Sunita, are you able to hear me?
Yes, yes.
So
Yes,
any
sir.
queries? Any queries at your end?
No, sir. No query.
Bhavna?
Yes, sir. No, even I don't have any query.
Yeah, okay, I have few. No problem. I
Great.
thought let me ask some. I thought let me ask others first.
Mhm.
See, my queries are more to do with the the stretching points.
Mhm.
Like to what extent we can go. Let's say if I look at one or two fields for the entire set of companies,
Mhm.
will it create any problem? That was
Uh,
one question in
yes.
my mind.
Okay. Okay. Uh,
Uh,
yeah, I'll hear all the questions from you, and then I can answer. Each of them.
the second was like when you go stepwise.
Mhm.
So you start with the few selections in the initial stage, and then it gives you a choice for all companies,
Mhm.
and then you move to the selected companies and you add data.
Right.
But sometimes, like it on its own shifts to all companies, and you miss out looking at it,
Okay.
and it then generates data for the entire set.
Okay. Understood. Yeah.
And I don't know why it happens. Is it
Mhm.
my
Mhm.
fault, or is it something which software provides as a choice? And then supposing you commit this mistake,
Mhm.
so what is the option left with you? Can
Right.
you correct that sheet, or you have to
Mhm.
create a new?
Okay. Okay. I think this is a very
And
important query which most of the user face at time. So I think it's a very valid issue which you have raised. I'll address that also.
should I
Yeah.
mention the third one also?
Yes. 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 Yes.
If you take too large a database, then your spreadsheet softwares, or let's say our software,
Yeah.
or maybe your computer might have the limitation.
Right. Right. Right.
Finance field particularly, because Provis is more for that.
True.
So we face that difficulty of let's say Provis provides you the data, but
Mhm.
your manipulating software becomes a limitation. What to do
Right.
in that case?
I know. I know. There is a limitation
Is
both.
there any limitation? Is there any
Yes.
limitation at the Provis end also?
Yes. Even at the province also there is a limitation. So I'll address that also. Okay. Any other queries, sir?
Right now, these are the three which I had thought of.
Yeah.
Plus, those advanced operations, like I don't know to what extent we can go. Uh,
Yeah, that
like
I'll cover.
when
So
I
that's an option, for a user to consume or use if the data requirement is of that nature. But at times it becomes very helpful. So first, let me address your query, and then we'll move to the advanced feature. So I have shared my screen and open a Provis, and let me know when my screen is visible to you.
yes, it is.
Okay. So I'll first address your second query, which was which related to a selection of all companies and where you had faced problem. So it is basically with respect to the domain. If you see, every screen of Province has got a domain called all companies and companies in current OSC. So what happens that when you run a query on the database and your domain remains at all companies, it will give you the data for all companies. Unless you change your domain to the companies in current OSC, it won't give the data for the companies for which you want the data or which is there in your output sheet. So whenever you build your query, if I go a step back, when you start a search on the database, you start essentially you do your search from here. Select companies in predefined sets and select set of companies, which will be from the all companies, because that is my first query, which allows me to pull up the company from my universe of 51,000 companies based on the selection I have made. Now, once I have got that output and have to add data further to the list of companies which we have, we need to change the domain as the companies in current OSC. So I'll give you one example. Like, if I have taken, say, BSE Sensex companies and I say send to new OSC. So here my domain is all companies. And once the company goes to my output sheet, next query onwards, my domain will always be companies in current OSC. So I have got these 30 companies. Now, if I go to the financials, I have to, so by default, the domain is always selected as all companies. So if I don't change it to companies in current OSC, it will give me the output for all 51,000 companies.
That's okay.
So if you just take care of this, this will help you in resolving this issue of, getting the data for all companies.
No, that's okay. But at what stage it goes back to all companies without my changing?
It doesn't go automatically unless you change it. So
let's say I go to a back step.
So if I go to back, this is a screen here where you can go back.
It goes to all companies.
It goes to all companies, yeah.
Okay. So it's a back step.
If I go forward also, since I was there in this and I had changed my domain as current OSC, it won't change. But whenever
forward,
I go back,
it won't change.
Yes.
Then it will change.
Yes.
Okay.
So just a word of caution that whenever you are running this query, just be careful that what domain is selected.
Right. So if you go backward, then you have to make sure.
Yes.
Right.
So then the next is the data limitation. So there is a limitation of 500 columns. So whatever data you generate, if it is generated for more than 500 columns, Provis will not give you the output. It will show you that your query was not okay. I'll show you example. Possibly it would be there somewhere. Yeah. For example, if you see this command history gives you a list of queries in which it says that execution is okay or not. So like it says not okay when I ran this query here sometimes earlier. So whenever it exceeds, your query exceeds 400 columns, it would say that not okay. So that's the limitation. So in such cases, when you feel that, if you're taking data for, 10 years or 20 years and a number of indicators multiplied, increases 400 columns, do try to, curtail that and try to take that data into 2 parts. So it will be easier to, get the output.
Number of rows is not a limitation.
Number of rows is not a limitation, but number of columns is a limitation.
Okay.
So that's the reason, you have an option to load all 51,000 companies. So, it will load all the companies, but when it goes to the column, it restricts there.
Okay.
So this was the answer to your third query. Now the stretching of the query is also related to the answer of this third query of the a limitation of rows and columns. That essentially the data starts from 1987 onwards, but there were very few companies in 87 whose data was there. But still, you can get the data for 87 onwards. So you can start from 87 till 2020. But yes, you'll have to be a little careful that if the number of columns should not increase, and the only option is to refrain from getting that kind of not okay output, is that break the query into 2 parts or 3 parts to run that query.
Okay. Yeah. Right.
So I think I've addressed all the 3 queries. Now the most important. So let me show you. I tried to make a slide, two slides.
There are many companies which have no data.
No,
even
I'll tell you.
For any years.
No, that won't be possible. There would be many companies where some data can be blank, and data would be live for few years, the company, and that essentially happens with respect to a private limited company. Now, what happens that, there is a no formal strict rule for a private limited company to disclose the data in a regular term. So essentially that comes in case of those companies only, that, they became live, and they disclosed the results for a few years, and then they stopped it disclosing. So what we do that, from Provis, we do not remove any company from the sample size. So that's the
Like,
reason you would find
for
that, there
example,
would be blank.
for example, yesterday I was looking at industrial machinery companies,
Mm-hmm.
and I looked at standalone and consolidated.
Right.
I looked at 30-year data.
Yeah.
I selected only few columns, like I think in
Mm-hmm.
all there were 20 columns.
Right.
And there were about 300 something companies.
Mm-hmm.
But many companies had no data for any year. So I was wondering,
I'll
like
check
I was
that.
only looking at sales, profit before tax, profit after tax kind of
Yeah.
data.
See, I'll tell you what happens that, especially in case of these heavy machinery companies, uh, we since we are not biased towards selection of the company, a company can have zero sales or no sales and still can be part of Provis. And essentially in the initial year of their establishment, because these companies have got a good investment in terms of their assets, but they might
Yes, they
not have
have.
their sales. Yeah. So there can be a case that sales is not there for a few years, but their assets and other indicators would be there. So we need to check that what kind of indicator were not there. Of course, if there is no sales, then there would be no profit. But essentially, this happens to especially these kind of high machinery boiler kind of companies who have a greater time period in terms of generating revenue after they get
Okay, no problem.
established.
I'll look at some of the other list and come back to you if I have that. Yes,
Sure.
yes, yes,
And in
yes.
fact, what I'll suggest that whenever you face this kind of query, in Provis IQ, there is a section called C clarification. And in C clarification, there is a availability of data for a company. So you can come here and you can attach your file and say that, why there is a data not available for these set of companies. And this goes to a Provis team, and they would be in a better position. They would know that, why they can go back to the annual report, cross check, and, do verify and give you a very valid answer that why it is not there. So do start using this, because this will be a very useful exercise, especially what happens that, all these queries which you post here can become as a, FAQs for you. So maybe 6 months down the line, you are stuck with the similar kind of, query. So you can always refer to that, what was answered in the similar case. And once they answer it, you get a, email reply that there is your query has been answered.
Right.
So that's the best way to, put in your queries. Yeah.
Good. Right. Thank you.
So the two important things which I thought we can discuss today. One is that there is an option to download the data in TXT format, and especially in the panel format. And to do so, I'll just expand this. And it would be good if you can log into your Provis from your end.
We will do that.
Because this is little technical, otherwise you'll get stuck up. So in Provis, there is a section here on the right hand side is a setting option. So if you can log into Provis, and then I'll explain this.
Yeah, I'm just doing it. Maybe others can also do it.
Yes, sir. Sir, in the meantime, can I please ask a small doubt?
Yes.
Sir, standalone and consolidated, you told in the last session also, standalone is basically for the individual company.
Right.
And consolidated is for the whole group.
Correct. So if the company is a part of a group, then you will get consolidated. So it might not be necessary that every company will have a consolidated result.
Okay. Yes, sir.
This consolidation is based on this Ind AS.
Correct. In fact, I'll come to Provis also and repeat the same steps. So if you have logged into Provis, if you click on this settings option, which is in the extreme right hand side, just before the question mark, which is of the help button, so a window will pop up.
Settings just before, no, before question mark.
This is, if you can see my screen now.
The cross mark.
Yeah, so there's a cross. Yeah.
Yeah, there is a cross mark.
Cross mark is to close that. Then you have double window. Then you have to minimize option. There's a toggle ribbon bar. There's a about question mark, and then there's a settings, which is configure settings of Provis.
Okay. Yeah.
So when you click on that, a window will pop up.
Right.
And this gives you an option to change all the settings of Provis in terms of how do you want to see the output. So for this specific purpose, there is an option for txt output. So if you see txt underscore output, so when you click on that, in right hand side, if you see by default, it selects txt as in companies in rows and dates in columns.
Yes.
Change that to companies and date both in rows.
Yes. Okay.
Change that and then save it.
Okay.
So once you save that, it changes the output format. And I'll give you an example. And let us take a simpler example to help you understand that how does the data look like. So I just take 2-3 companies. Now I have taken these 3 companies as an example. And for these companies, we'll load it to the output sheet. We'll go back to the query builder and go to the financial statements. And let us add some of the indicators like and in the query on date, I type in all. So all takes, whatever is data is available here. I change my domain to the companies in current OSC and click on txt output destination. So we have got a destination. By default, our destination is always OSC, which is output sheet of companies. We have got 2 options of worksheet, which we discussed last time also. And there are few data which only comes in the worksheet. And the last one is the txt format, which we did not discuss last time. So since we have changed the setting, we want to see this data in the txt format.
Also in this, when you specify range, how do you specify equal to?
Okay, you want to see that range from and range to.
Yes, like sometimes you want to keep it exhaustive, so equal to is also required. So which side it takes equal?
So let me first run this query and show you the output, then I'll come to this query also and show you. So when I say send to new OSC and replace txt, so what it does, it gives me 2 output. One is the list of companies in the output sheet, and it replaces the text file and gives me the output as a txt format. Let us go to the command history and planner. And when you run this kind of query, when you want to see the data on that text format, so you have to select this show the text directory on the text download. So the moment I say continue, this has been processed. So if you see, this folder has popped up, and this folder has got financial, stock, equity, ownership, and M&A data. Now, since we ran this query on the financials, so we want to see the data on the financials here. So I have just opened an Excel file here. I drag this text file. So you have two options, if you're directly running on R or any statistical program, you can straight away take those text output and import it in those statistical package. If you want to see the data in Excel, then open that in Excel, and I say okay. So what it does, it gives you the data for for first company, all the data. So like for ACC 1988 onwards, all the data is at one place. Then it goes to the second company, gives you all the data at one place, and so on and so forth.
So what you are saying is that because R doesn't have a limitation,
yes.
So you import text file directly in R.
Yes.
And therefore you do not face the limitation.
Yes. At times it becomes very helpful.
Okay.
So this is clear. Anyone has any query? Or do you want me to repeat this process again?
Yeah, I've understood, but maybe you can do that. I think it will help.
Yeah. So what I did, I first went to the setting, went to text output, changed the settings to columns and dates in rows, and saved it. Then I went to select companies in predefined sets. So let's go to BSE 30 companies. We have already got this output of 30 companies here. Let us make this sheet active, and let us see this data the way you wanted to. With this, I'll help you explain your query as well. So if I take, say, total income, and I say total income should be more than and equal to. So I can give this range of more than equal to 100, and my currency is in rupees crores. So this is the condition. With that, I want to see profit, their total expenses, their total liabilities, total assets, and I want it for a specific period. So I say 2010 03 to 2020 03. So what I did, this is a very useful outcome which may be used and which can be utilized when you do a data download for a research work. That what does this query explains? It says that I want those companies with the PAT, total expenses, their total liabilities, and total assets, where the total income is either greater than or equal to 100 crores. So condition is satisfied on this, and I am adding the data for the rest. And I can go a step ahead that this condition is satisfied as on financial year 2019. So this is the third element. So what it does, it says that as on 2019, the total income is more than 100 crores. And for those companies, I want the data for PAT, total expenses, liabilities, assets, as well as total income from 2010 to 2020. So this is the 4 condition query which we have added, and we want to see this data into the TXT format. So I select the domain as companies in current OSC, I select TXT, and I say send to new OSC and replace the TXT. So what it does, it will replace the output of the previous query which we did on the TXT and gives us the new output here. Okay, my folder is open only. The results have not changed. Ideally, it should have popped up, but in case, for example, it is not popping up now, this folder, where do you find this folder? So to get that folder, you'll have to go to your desktop, click on Provis, go to Properties, and this is the path where Provis is installed. So you can click on Open File Location. And under Open File Location, there is a Users folder. Under the user, it will be your username there. And you can go to User Docs. And this is the folder which will give you all your files here. And then we can simply take this file to the Excel and work it.
So these files will relate to the current query.
Correct. This, every time when you run this query, it overrides the previous output.
Okay, so in case you want to reuse it, so you save it somewhere else.
Yes. In fact, if you want to revisit, your all queries are automatically saved here.
No, queries are
So,
okay. I'm talking about this text file.
So from here also you can go back and download your files at any point of time, and that will overwrite your file.
The text file will be overwritten.
Yes.
It will only store the latest
one. Correct.
Right. Okay.
So this was the first section which I wanted to discuss, and then the second is there are lots of useful functions which can be used on Provis. I'm not sure whether you have used this or seen this in past. So there is very important function which is called prev function. So prev can be used for any indicator, and prev is essentially, it says that prev is the previous. The meaning of prev is the previous. So if I'm using prev y, it basically refers to the a period prior to the current period on which we want to run a query. So for example, if I am talking about, say, prev y, and my year on which I'm running my query is 2020, so prev y will be 2019. Now there are several options through which we can use this prev function. Now first option is the syntax is prev y, and we can replace this expression with any indicator. It can be sales, it can be PAT, it can be assets, and we can use the number of year for which we want to refer to. So for example, if I have, I have outlined 2-3 options here as an example. So first is the prev y sales 5, which means that it refers to the 5th year backward sales of the company from the reference period we are looking at. If I do not use any year here, it will refer to the immediate previous year. The second one is prev y, which it actually explains the same, that it basically the previous year PAT to sales, and this is the 3rd year. So I can have previous options. I can always say that what can be difference between the 2 years of an expression. So for example, PAT minus previous year PAT will give you the difference of the 2 expressions. So I'll run this query also and show you how it works. But these are
like you run it today. So previous year is 1920.
No, when I say 1920 as a query on year, and when I say sales and I say previous year sales.
Okay, query on year you are specifying.
Yes, because that is the reference period.
Okay. Yeah. And if you say L,
so L, it can be, it will work. It will still work, but it will vary from company to company. So whatever company has the latest data will be the current data, and the previous will be referred to the, from that period.
Yes.
So whenever you're using prev function, reference period is very important. One should not use L. So let me first show you this output, then we'll talk about the other functions. So when I say here, we have got some data, some companies here, and I say total income, comma, prev y, total income, and I say 2020 03. So what does it mean? That total income will be as on 2020, whereas the Prev by total income will be for 2019. And when I add this data, so this is 2020 and this is the 2019 data. Now the utility of this data is that if I want to calculate a growth, so I can type in an expression and I'll write this in Notepad also so that in a bigger screen you can see. I can say that I want to find out growth of the total income over previous year total income, and let me run this query. Okay, and then till it runs, I'll show you this in Notepad. So what I have done, I'm trying to find out that what is the growth in the total income of the list of companies I'm having over the previous year. I can also give a query that I want to find out all those companies where the growth in their total income over the previous year is more than 10%. So I can use greater than 10, I can use greater than 5, I can use any number on which I would like to see the growth.
And growth as a variable is predefined.
Yes, that is predefined.
Okay, because that's a standard definition in any case.
Yes. So before explaining growth, I wanted first you to understand that how PrevY can be useful in
if you want to change it to some other base year.
Yeah, so when again this all depends upon what the reference period you are talking about. So in my query, I'm giving this reference as 2020. You can say you want to see it 1989, and you want to see for year on year. So if you give a range, say from 2010 to 2020, it will calculate growth for every year over the previous year.
Okay. Good.
So it becomes very, very useful to get the data. Otherwise, at times you have to calculate all this data in Excel. I think we have got the output. So this is my growth. And I can run this query, the query which we are talking about, that I want to see that, the growth should be more than 5%. And when I do so, I say retain match companies. So it will knock off those companies where the growth is less than 5%. So out of 30 companies we had, there were only 18 companies where the growth was more than 5% over the previous year in their total income. So this is how we can run a conditional query also using these expressions. Going back to the slide again. So the reference of Prev, though, apart from the standard expression, has got more utility when we are trying to calculate growth, or we are trying to calculate, average of two expression. You can take, sales of 2 years and take an average. You can define a size by taking total income and total assets, and divided by 2 can be another expression to define that. You can also do a compound annual growth rate calculation, and for which the expression is this, which we say CARG, C-A-R-G, and any expression and the number of years. So let us run this query. Now, till it adds the data, I'll show you this expression also. So what expression I'm using is, it is CARG under bracket, the expression, it can replace any expression you want to, and the number of years I want to calculate the compound annual growth rate. So here I have calculated for 10 years. So CARG is also, predefined in the system. So it can be replaced, both the expressions and the year can be replaced depending upon the data. So this is my CARG number. Now, there is one very useful section here. Let me first show you in fact, I didn't get time to add that in PPT. Was that you can also use the if-else statement in Provis. So, if I want to find out, let me give an example that. Okay, so there are two kinds of output which you can get. One is that if I want to find out that if sales of the company is greater than 100, then I don't want to see the numbers. I want to see the textual output, which can be in English, except or. So this is the expression. So my if-else statement says that if sales is more than 100 crores, then say except, and if it is not greater than 100, it should say reject. Let us run this query and show you the output. And let us load.
So you're not knocking off, you're retaining both.
Yeah. So I am retaining both. So at times in research, you might need this kind of data.
Grouping and
yeah. And you also, to do some kind of qualitative analysis, you do not want the numbers, but you want some of the fields which can identify or denote your output. So that's the reason you can use the English word instead of, though it's at the back end it is running only on the indicator, but the output will show like an expression which is an English word.
And you can do a nested if, and you can have more than two categories.
Yes. You can do anything.
Okay.
So this is just an example. So I'll show you two output. One is that with the English output, and second is with the data. So you'll get more sense to it. That's how it can be used. So I've got now basically 200 companies, and for these companies, I want to run this same expression. And I say add data. So there can be interesting twist to this, that this was the expression which gives me English output of accept or reject. I say that I want to find out all those companies where sales is more than 100 crores. Yeah, okay. I got a good clue also. Possibly it should look better. So I say it should give me sales or give me total income. Now, this can be useful at some time because for the financial companies, you won't get sales. Financial companies hardly get sales because they don't sell anything. They get the interest income or the financial income, so which can be part of total income. So at times you will find that the sales of a financial company is zero. Now in our BC 200, there would be many financial companies. So let us run this output also once we have got the English output ready. So this was on the accept and reject, and see, this was the bank, and hence it did not had any sale. It had the total income, so it said reject. So wherever it got rejected, it says accept or reject. So this is the English output. Now for these companies, for the similar set of companies, I'll replace this with this expression. And I say add data. Now till it runs the query, I'll just show there is a small catch, and you should not miss out when you run your query.
The expression simultaneously?
Huh?
Can you keep both the expressions simultaneously?
Yes, we can keep both. We can keep both. We can separate it by comma, and we can do that. Now, the point to be remembered here is that whenever you're using English as an output, it should be under quotes. Whereas if I just want to see the output as an indicator, as a value, the quote is not required. So this is the difference between the English and the indicator output if we want to use it. This kind of output can be very useful when someone is working on the stock prices data, and because most of these companies are listed on both the exchange BSE or NSE, and your condition can be that you want to first find out, your condition can be that all the companies where you want to find out the closing price of BSE, and if not available, then give me the NSE price. So in such case also, this kind of expression becomes very handy. Hope this is getting clear. I'm not letting you people confused.
Others can say.
No, sir, it's good.
It's fine, sir.
It's fine, sir.
So what I'll do, I'll share this PPT actually I made for you people only. I'll add that if else statement also, and I'll mail it to you so that you can use it internally and let me know that if you want to add something more to this.
Yes.
Yeah. So actually I didn't get time to add the if else wala stuff, so I'll add that and I'll mail you so that you can circulate internally. So these were the few stuff which I thought can be useful, though in day-to-day work you might not need this, but at times when you think of downloading the data for the research work, these are the options which can be tried on and can be utilized. And especially I think that that textual output has no one tried before. I recently explored this, the setting option for the panel data and the textual output. So at times this can give you a very, very interesting, types to output to write your papers.
Yes, and nowadays a lot of artificial intelligence is based on text and.
I know. So in fact, that was I was reading some article and I thought that let me explore this in Prowess, and I was successful in doing so. It caught my attention, and I thought that let me introduce to Academia because they would be very happy to use this. So I think by and large, I have explained the important advanced function. There are 2-3 more functions which I would like you to understand. One is the query on year. Query on year. Second is on how to define your template. So defining an expression was explained last time. You can how you can create your own formula, and if I want, I can repeat that. I can use any of the expressions from here, and I can save this. So I can click here and I say profit margin, I have used into 100, so I'll say percentage and save this. The moment I save my expression, it comes under user-defined expression. It gets saved here. But what if you want to save your template the way it should look like in the output? Now,
where do you save this? Where do you save this?
I click
This
here.
is top right window.
Yeah.
Top right
There's
corner
save,
of the window. Yes.
yeah. So there's a save user expression, the floppy option icon. So when you click here, save user expression, it allows you to give the expression name, expression description, and the unit which you would like to use it. And once you save this, it gets saved and it comes under the user defined expression here.
And the one who defines will only be seeing it.
Correct.
Others won't.
So it is your expression and no one can, and because it is in your login, no one else can delete it. Earlier, this was a bigger issue that, a single login was used by every user, and by mistake, one user's output was, or template was deleted by others. So that's the reason, I always suggest that every
quite
user.
often.
I know. So it's always good to have, same unique user login IDs so that no one can interfere with what you have made.
This is the benefit of lockdown.
I know. No, but I know. Yeah, actually, I'll agree with you that this was the benefit of lockdown, because before lockdown, despite of my explaining this to many a times, no one, tried to create their login ID and use it. And they were still referring to the, that was the easiest way, because, no one would like to take a pain and create the user ID and the password and access. But yeah, it adds lots of value. Now, what if I want to define my own template? So what I do that I take this down and I want to have rest few of the expression to be used for my data needs. So I say I want to take total income also. I can take some of the ratios from here and say I want to look at the return on net worth from here, and I add it here. Similarly, I can come to some of the derived indicators from the miscellaneous disclosures, the number of employees, and I take it here. So I can, take various indicators depending upon my data need. I can take forex earning, the raw material expenses, and I have it here. Now, this is an example of template. Now I can define my template by giving a header name. I do not want that my output should show what the formula I have used it for my expression. So I can also change that. And I want to even take total income as a first indicator and rest. So I can, change the order depending upon my need. Once I do so, I can save this as a user template. So here we saved as a user expression, which was a particular formula which a user has made is saved here, whereas the set of formulas or the set of expression can be saved as a template. And if I click here, it's a test. So now if I refresh everything and I do a fresh login and I want to refer to my template for my data download. So I can simply come here as a template and refresh this so that, whatever new templates which you have downloaded or saved here is available here. So this was the test one which we had made, and I can simply download. So this was the saved one.
So when you hide the formula, it's a two-step process.
Yes.
First, you write the formula, the search condition.
Correct.
To bring it to the template.
Down. Yes, break it down,
and then
hide it with a header, and then save it as a template.
When you change the header name, expression will get hidden.
Correct.
Okay. And where will the expression go?
Expression will still remain here under the user-defined expression. And if you come here, you can still refer to view expression and you can see what expression was used. You are allowed to edit this also. So if you see here, you have an option to edit the expression also. We want to delete the expression also.
Okay. Okay.
Like, this is one example of another expression which I had made for one of our user. And this was for, this was again used in academia for Altman Z-score. And this is the formula which was used to create that. So of course, user did not wanted that the formula should be shown. So we just gave the description name. So template becomes very useful, especially when you plan to start your research and you know that what all expression you want. Normally, I have seen that trend in last many years that a researcher takes first a data dump and then start manipulating with the data, and data deletion and extraction is done in Excel, that what suits them. But I'll say that, Provis can be more useful when you define your expressions here, use pref function, growth function, define your formulas, define your template, and then you can replicate it for any industry you want to do the similar kind of study. Then it becomes very easy to get the data download done.
Because when you work with data dump, then you are stuck with the data of that moment.
I know.
Because you manipulate and you create your variables which are being done somewhere else.
Right.
Not in Provis.
Yeah.
And so you can't take the latest available from Provis. And if you do it, then that means you have to do all that exercise again.
Right. So essentially, when
it's a very useful feature, yes.
Yeah. So at times it becomes very handy, because if you want to replicate your study, because when you are doing this with the data dump, then it becomes very cumbersome to replicate the similar study for any other industry or the similar kind of study. So it becomes very handy, and you can quickly, without wasting much of a time, you can easily do a second paper writing by using separate industry and looking at the impact of those expressions. The query on date, though, is very important. I had explained earlier also that query on date works as a condition that, it first looks at the condition being satisfied as on particular period. An output is simply, it just adds the data or the information depending upon what query on date has been mentioned there. Now, there are various ways to look at the common sample, and at times I have seen that common sample, though in past common sample was used a lot for the research work, but at times common sample also comes out with a limitation bad, because it is said the data is biased because of the consistent availability of the data, and the sample size gets skewed. So that limitation is always there. But still, there is an option wherein you can define a common sample by separating the years with an and. So if I say that 2010 03 and 2011 03 and 2012 03 and I'll show this in the notepad also, so that it will be easy for you to view. So each number of year should be separated by ampersand. Will give you the data consistently available for the number of years you are referring to. So this is little cumbersome, because you have to separate it. For each year you have to type in and separate it with and, but still there are other alternatives available here, but frankly I have always found this cumbersome being a better output generation. So there is an option here. Either you can use this option or you can use LA2. So I can say LA10, which means that at least the data is consistently available for 10 years. But at times I have seen that this, especially with respect to those companies which are have got a different period ending, it comes with a lag out of the data. So you have an option to use LA2, or you can use the ampersand option or and option to separate it with each year to get the output of a common sample.
You do not know for which year you are getting in case of LA2 or LA10.
In such case, we use LA2, LA10, and you have to select then, year, finance year also.
Okay.
As an expression. So that's a pain to consume the data, because, if it's a 20 years or 10 years even data, so every year you have to look at that, which year that data belongs to. So that's a difference.
So if I understood correctly, you're saying that instead of, let's say you're using for 5 years, so instead of putting a dash, if you put a dash, then availability is not ensured.
Yes. So if you put in dash, it says that, it is whatever is available, it will simply add the data. It will not serve as a condition that if data availability is not there, it would not, pull that company.
Okay. Oh.
The other useful section is the annualization button. So when you do annualization on, especially with the companies which has got number of months which are lesser than or greater than 12 months, are annualized. So, there are many companies, when they changes their accounting period, they either report it for 9 months or report it for 15 months. So what happens when you are running on a panel for 10 years, you might not know that, how many number of months the company has reported the data on. So in such cases, it is always advised to put your annualization on. It is nothing but a unitary method. It converts the 9 month or 15 month into 12 months to give you the comparable output. So at times it becomes easy for the researchers to look at the data, because, otherwise you have to use the number of month expression to add it to the list of companies you're working on. And then you have to manually filter out that, either remove those companies which are of less than or more than 12 months, or you have to do manually annualize it to make it comparable.
But this would be the case only for the first year and the last year.
Yeah, any company, whenever they have changed the accounting period, because normally
accounting period change, yes.
Yeah, but when you're looking at the longer period, is 20 years, there would be many companies, who would have undergone change their accounting period. And especially what happens that, post mergers or post acquisition, if the company is part of the international company, then they would change their, March to December, they'll make their accounting period.
Yes.
So in such cases, it is always good to, use the annualization button on. If you're looking at the sample for 3-4 years, it would make much of a difference. But of course, for a longer sample size, for a longer period, annualization buttons is useful and should be used. So that's all from my side. If you have any query, any one of you, do feel free to ask.
Yeah, we need not stretch it to 2 hours in case we don't have anything.
Yeah, I do not want to put in, to specifically stretch it, because it is first important that the user should consume this kind of, advanced sessions.
Yes, anybody?
No, sir. Actually, first we practice, only then queries will arise. Otherwise, these queries will not arise. So I think we should practice first of all.
Right.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot, Rajiv, sir.
You're welcome, Smitaji. In fact, your institution is one of the very few institutions where I have introduced these advanced sessions, because normally
I was about to say that, because I've attended many of your sessions, and it always, though it was intended to be advanced, but because audience was not ready,
yes,
so it ended up with the first session.
And advanced session is only possible when the group is small, because then it makes a bigger impact. For the larger audience, you cannot introduce the advanced session, because
all they are familiar and experimented.
Yes.
Already, otherwise it won't make sense.
Right. So thank you so much for your time, and I'll urge all of you to start using it, do more experiment, burden me with lots of queries, I'll be more than happy to address all kind of difficult queries.
Yes, sir, for sure, sir. Thank you so much, Rajiv, sir.
Yeah, Shika, on to you. You can conclude.
Yeah. Hello.
You can conclude. Yes, you can say
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Thank you so much, Rajiv, sir. Actually, it was so much of learning that after doing my PhD, I still need to do more work on the Provis database, I think. Yeah, there was a lot of learning, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rajiv. Thank you. It was
in fact,
extremely useful.
Yes,
my
sir.
intention is that I would like to showcase PGDAV professors to be one of the best Provis users.
In fact, we were debating. We were very few, so we were debating: should we trouble you with the session, or should we go after Diwali? So we were debating among ourselves, and then I only pushed her to, because you said we can have more session also. So
Yes.
I pushed Shikha to, let's try with whatever number we have.
Right, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your
Thank you
time.
very much.
Yeah,
Thank
take
you.
care.